everyone, I'm Liam Smith with Agent Smith Voice Productions. If you enjoy the videos I create and are new to the channel, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you don't miss out on future content. The British Ivor Lancaster is perhaps the most famous Allied heavy bomber of the Second World War, with impressive range and excellent flying characteristics. It soon established superiority over other Allied four-engine bombers operating in Europe. The Lancaster's operational career was astonishing, with impressive feats such as Operation Chastise, the attack on German dams carried out on the 16th to the 17th of May 1943 by RAF No. 617 Squadron, which utilized a purpose-built bouncing bomb developed by Barnes-Wallis. Most operational Lancasters were shot down before they had reached 20 sorties. But in today's video, I'm going to tell you the remarkable story of a Mark I Ivor Lancaster that flew 90 operational missions over occupied Europe. Its name is G for George.
Veteran Lancaster bomber G for George lands at B for Brisbane in a D for dust storm. But what's a dust storm to G for George? Storms of hot metal when the flak was furious over Berlin are nothing new to this famous Lancaster. Yes, G for George is an old warhorse of the skies, and the nearer you get, the bigger he looks.
This famous aircraft was constructed in mid-1942 by Metropolitan Vickers in Manchester, England. Once completed, George was delivered for operations to No. 460 Squadron, Royal Australian Air Force, situated at Brighton in Yorkshire. Its first operational mission took place on the 6th of December 1942 against the German city of Mannheim. Over the next 16 months, G for George carried out 90 bombing operations against Germany, Italy, and occupied Europe. One of these missions included the famous raid on the 17th of August 1943 against the secret German Vergeltungswaffen V1 and V2 facilities at Peenemünde on the Baltic coast. George's last operation was a raid on Cologne in Germany on the 20th of April 1944 and was retired from service after the mission concluded. This Lancaster bomber was an incredible survivor during the worst part of the bomber offensive, and has the added distinction of bringing back alive every crew member on board. Although sadly, 40% of the crewmen who had originally flown with George were later killed in action during other operational missions. On the 8th of November 1944, George arrived in Australia, where it toured the country as the flagship of the 3rd Victory Loan Tour. This ran from the 13th to the 27th of April 1945, and thus helped raise funds for the war effort. In these two photos is Australian Prime Minister John Curtin stepping out of the aircraft during his visit to No. 460 Squadron, Royal Australian Air Force. The Lancaster was eventually delivered to the Royal Australian Air Force Base in Canberra, where it resided for 10 years and was exposed to the elements. In 1955, George was moved to the Australian War Memorial for restoration. The aircraft was dismantled and reassembled in the Aeroplane Hall, and work was undertaken in full view of the public. In the years that followed, the interior went through maintenance checks and was repainted in 1978. It was not until 1999 that George was removed from display and underwent extensive off-site conservation repairs. In December 2003, the Anzac Hall was opened and the Lancaster was put on full display at the War Memorial. Last year, I was fortunate enough to see this incredible and beautiful aircraft at the Australian Imperial War Museum before COVID-19. And here are some awesome photographs that I wanted to share with you. Next time, I'm discussing the iconic German Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber and the different variants used throughout the war. Thank you so much as always for watching. I really enjoy making these videos. Before I go, I would like to thank my awesome subscribers for your ongoing contribution and support. And if you really liked this video, don't forget to share this on social media with your friends and family. Liam Smith with Agent Smith Voice Productions. Until then, stay tuned. I'll see you next time.